What's up guys, Gannon here, back with another video, and today we are going to be doing a fictional devil fruit idea that I've come up with, and I've said this before, but my favorite aspect of One Piece and something that's always kept me hooked and watching is always seeing new characters and seeing what type of devil fruit abilities they have. Everything from lightning, to light, to rubber, to mochi, to strings. It's always been super cool seeing what these different characters have up their sleeve. Now, I always like to ponder and think about what devil fruits would be cool to have in the series, and therefore I like to do these types of videos. And today I'm going to be talking about a fruit that I came up with called the Plush-Plush fruit. Now, to put it simply, the Plush-Plush fruit makes the eater a plush human, giving them the ability to turn everything they touch into a plushie. Now you might be asking, Gannon, this kind of sounds like garbage, but when you think about it, a lot of other devil fruits that are extremely strong and powerful also sound like complete garbage. Like, if you told me that one of the strongest devil fruits in the whole series was a rubber fruit or a string fruit, I'd be like, without any context, I'd be like, well, that's kind of trash, right? But in reality, those fruits are literally some of the strongest and most creatively used in the series. Now, this is kind of similar with the Plush-Plush fruit. Basically, this fruit gives you the ability to touch things and turn them into plush, like I've already said, but it acts differently on, like, organic matter and just, like, living organs. So, in a setting where the user is, like, let's say in a forest or something, they could just go up to a tree, touch it, and then turn that tree into a plush in just an instant, and it will remain a plush. Now you're asking, why would that be useful in any way, shape, or form? Well guys, imagine a character maybe like falling from the sky and they were at risk of just dying from hitting the ground too hard, so right before they hit the ground, maybe they touched the ground, or maybe they swiped a tree with their hands, turned that tree into plush, and was able to cushion their fall. Also, the thing about the Plush-Plush fruit that's also very strong is that no, like, matter is non-susceptible to turning into plush, except for Sea Prism Stone, which means if a user was about to fall into water, they could swipe the water very quickly and turn it into plush, similar to Aokiji's Chill fruit, which is able to freeze water as soon as he comes in contact with it. The initial radius for when you touch the ground is probably going to be a 15-meter radius, so if they were to swipe water, then a 15 radius, like, plushy floating raft would appear. Same thing if you were to just touch the bare ground, you can just make it into like a 15 radius of plush, and since you're a plush human, you would have a very easy time maneuvering around plush, whereas your enemies probably would have a hard time walking on it, maneuvering around it, because it's like walking in one of those like square foam pits you see at gymnasiums. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it would give you kind of an environmental advantage if you were to just turn the ground that you're walking in into plush, and you can maneuver easily on it since you are in essence a plush human, and your enemy therefore is at a disadvantage in a 1v1 fight. Regarding just any matter in general, it's able to turn anything you touch that's not alive into plush in an instant. This could be used to save you from fall damage, save you from falling in water, and then also disadvantage your enemies. So that is the strength of the Plush-Plush fruit in that aspect. But I know a lot of you are also wondering, what does this do to people? Like, what effect does this have in a combat situation? I've come up with an aspect of this fruit that doesn't make it, I think, like super high tier OP, but it does make it totally viable to just fight top tier characters in the verse 100%, especially if the user themselves is fast and strong. So when the user of the Plush-Plush no Mi touches another living thing, alright, it can only turn that living thing's body parts into plush if it holds on for 1 whole second. So you need to count to 1 Mississippi. That's it, but you need to keep in mind that when it comes to living organisms, you cannot turn the entirety of their body into plush at one point. You can only do that after counting like 1 Mississippi, and then that particular body part that you were holding is going to turn into a plushy version of that body part. This effect only in essence lasts for about 30 seconds, so it's very similar to Foxy's slow beam in that aspect. So during that time, the opponent can always move that arm, you know, and do stuff with it, pick up things. It's basically got the functions of a normal arm, but if that person were to attempt to punch the Plush-Plush user, it would have no effect. For one thing, it's a soft plush, it wouldn't really hurt anybody, but since the Plush-Plush no Mi user is essentially a plush human, then they're not going to ever get hurt by anything plushy. So now the opponent has a plushy arm, leg, head, or chest, and you're wondering, what can you do now that your opponent is essentially plushy? Now, this fruit is basically designed for close hand-to-hand combat that is very well thought out. The user of this fruit would probably need to be like a really adept at martial arts for them to get like leg locks, just be able to totally just outplay their opponent essentially. So when that arm or leg or chest or head is a plush, what the Plush-Plush no Mi user can now do is essentially beat the utter living shit out of it, and since it's a plush arm, you're going to be able to hit it a lot more with a lot more force, and proportionally, I'm saying that it's going to have like 2 to 3 times the damage output. So if I were to punch an opponent's regular arm, like let's say 5 times, and we're just going to put this as a multiplier of 1 of the damage that would happen. Since it's a flimsy, plushy arm, after the 30 seconds are done and it's reverted back to its original form, it's going to have like 3 times the damage applied to it. Now, another thing the Plush-Plush no Mi user can do, which is absolutely fucking insane and metal, is that if they choose to do this, if the Plush-Plush no Mi user is kind of a dick, Luffy would never fight this way, I don't think. But the Plush-Plush no Mi user always has the option to just simply rip the opponent's arm off. Like, fuzz will come out initially when they rip it off, but when it reverts back to the arm in 30 seconds, then it's going to just bleed heavily. The opponent is probably just going to die from blood loss, and it's going to be over. So obviously that is a really strong aspect of the ability and an offensive capability. You're basically able to slowly handicap your opponent while also going for kill shots, and maybe if you're just in a 1v1 fight and you want to probably fight like Luffy with your hands, you're going to be able to do a lot more damage with this fruit, considering the damage multiplier in the plushy form. Now, that's not the end of it. We've gone over the effects on just like organic matter, and then also just like the effects on living organisms. But another aspect that's really strong about this fruit is that, let's say you actually did lose a limb, or the Plush-Plush no Mi user lost a limb, somebody like cut off their arm, or maybe the Plush-Plush no Mi user's crewmate or friend also lost an arm. What the Plush-Plush no Mi user can do is touch both the arm that has fallen off and also just the remaining bit of arm on the user, turn those things both into plush, and within 30 seconds sew the parts back together, hence repairing it. Now, this will basically magically let you reattach limbs. There will be a like stitching afterwards that looks similar to like stitches you get at a hospital when it reverts back to its normal form, but in essence that arm or limb in general will be totally healed, and you will be able to use that arm like you normally would back when it was whole, and the stitches, I imagine, would probably disappear after a couple weeks or so. Anyways, guys, that's the fruit I came up with, the Plush-Plush fruit. I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and if we did see this in the One Piece universe, I totally wouldn't be mad. I mean, I think it is totally awesome, and it requires the user to be a totally fast, awesome, and just very intricate fighter and a badass. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. If you guys have any cool devil fruit ideas, please put them down there as well. Please subscribe and like the video, and I'm gonna have to see you guys in the next one.
Scrutiny had no effect on you and me. I miss driving with you in the passenger, feet up on my dash. We would see the sun lapse, take you home. You would come see me before class. Makes more sense for you to crash with me, but you never ask, oh why. Told you there's no need to be shy, oh why. I'll be waiting in the meantime, oh why.